I didn't want to create a Photoshop of Schumacher and Einstein and Nietzsche having an orgy burning a Quran, but I hope you understand I felt compelled to. If I had not been permanently banned from Germany before this segment, I guarantee you by the end of today, I will. So I have said this over and over. The United States is the greatest country in the world. Why? Well, I only need one reason: freedom of speech. We can get to the others, but unless you meet that threshold, I don't even think you're in the running. And Germany certainly isn't even close. There is no other country on earth that has the foundational principle of freedom of speech as we do in this country. Comment below if you understand that. I used to have to argue it in 2015, 2016. I think it's become painfully obvious, but some people still believe that freedom exists, for example, in Europe. Let's look at Germany. Right now, they are literally, and I'm not misusing that term, they are literally jailing people for silly memes.
It's 6:01 on a Tuesday morning, and we were with state police as they raided this apartment in northwest Germany. Inside, 6 armed officers searched a suspect's home, then seized his laptop and cell phone. Prosecutors say those electronics may have been used to commit a crime. The crime, posting a racist cartoon online.
Posting a racist cartoon. The man in question, we'll get into, his name is, username is Shlomo. So let's just put this in context. Germany acting like a totalitarian regime? Kraut, say it ain't so.
What? My friend is in prison for memes.
Illegal to post these kind of words.
You're looking so ugly.
Pot talking to me? Meet Nazi kettle. Now, in case you were wondering where we line up or how hard we're going to go into this today, in case you're wondering where we line up, and in case you're wondering if I'm ever to be barred from Germany, here's a picture of Albert Einstein, Beethoven, Nietzsche, and Michael Schumacher having a gay orgy. And burning Qurans. Don't think I'll be stamping Deutschland on my passport anytime soon.
Was that in Munich?
Just in case. Also, here's Anne Frank's OnlyFans, where she burns Qurans. I do not like Germany.
Neither does Anne Frank.
No. To be fair, she's just a very famous German. I don't think that she would be defending them here. But it is funny, isn't it? It's just a new form of Nazism. Let's be really clear about that. Like, I know the left, I can't remember, it was on Sunday, was it CBS? I can't remember her name, where she tried to sit down Vance and say, I don't know if was she talking to Vance or Vance addressed her? I don't remember, but she said the Holocaust started in part because of freedom of speech. That's what the left believes. No, I believe that the Holocaust was in large part due to a party who didn't believe at all in freedom of speech or the right to bear arms or freedom of anything, really. I don't believe the primary problem with the Holocaust or any great, by the way, human rights abuses, I don't believe the primary problem with said abuses was freedom of speech. As a matter of fact, I would wager that in every single situation where you examine it, you will find that there is direct infringement on freedom of speech. And I will also argue that every single great civil rights movement started with speech. And that brings us here to the case of Shlomo Finkelstein. So this is the person in question. In August of 2022, Finkelstein was arrested for incitement and insulting religious beliefs by burning the Quran, I guess putting pork on the Quran, and extinguishing the Quran with pee. Here's the thing. You may not like it. I understand that. You may think it's distasteful to burn the Quran. Yep, you may think it's distasteful to pee on the Quran. I get it. Absolutely. But it doesn't matter. And here's another comparison before I get to the court documents. You need to understand this is a big difference between Christianity and Islam. Christianity, certainly today, you can look at majority Christian countries. They do not demand that everyone else conform not just not just to their laws, but to their views of perceived slights, lest they be beheaded. That's the difference with Islam. Hey, Christians may not like it if you burn the Bible. They don't believe that you have to follow their beliefs or they will kill you. The Quran burning, the depiction of Muhammad, that is Islam infringing upon the rights of everybody else. Okay, I get it. Your religion says that you can't depict Muhammad. Mine does. Them's the breaks. But according to the court in Germany, they said Shlomo's goal in these actions was to insult, degrade, and mock the religion of Islam and the religious beliefs of Muslim people, thereby insult, degrade, and mock all users. He also accepted the risk of inciting all users who were able to view the video to also adopt a hostile attitude toward the religion of Islam and the religious beliefs of Muslim people. What?
I wouldn't want to piss him off either, actually.
Therefore, all users? No. Just the Islamic users who are offended. The users who would most likely empathize with the people raping your women and destroying your towns and running over your citizens with cars. How about we place a little more concern on that side of the ledger? Now, this next video is a little bit long, but it's shortened down from 10 minutes. So I do ask that you pay attention, because don't ask yourself here in the States, and this is very important, the Democrat Party wants us to be like Europe. The Democrat Party wants us to be far more like the left in Germany and Canada. You can see by who they allied with. You can see by the political debates in these countries. I saw it in Canada. The entire Liberal Party, the Trudeaus of Canada, are friends with the Kamalas and the Bidens, and they hate the Trumps. So it's important when you look at these issues to examine not just what does the left do right now with our checks and balances, what would they do if they had their way? The good news is you can see what the right would do, because right now we have it. Right now the left is furious about the imbalance of power, but guess what? We're looking at more freedoms, we're looking at more rights, and we're looking at government efficiency. They think that is the worst abuse of human rights, is Doge right now. Have you seen people actually being silenced or jailed for speech? No. AP not being allowed in the Oval Office because they don't call it Gulf of America doesn't count. When the left has unfettered power, this is always what happens. And they prioritize tolerance and virtue signaling over the well-being of their own citizens. So this is a new recording from the person in question, Shlomo, where he describes this dystopian story in detail surrounding his arrest.
Dear Mr. Vice President J.D. Vance, dear Mr. President Donald Trump, dear Mr. Elon Musk, and dear other friends in America, Germany, and around the world. This is a message from a German prison. On the 13th of August 2024, I was taken away from my girlfriend and son, who just turned 1 at the time. On that day in August last year, I was going for my usual walk with my son, when about 15 undercover policemen and cops wearing ski masks ripped the stroller with my child in it away from me and overpowered me, screaming, "Don't do anything stupid. Think of the child." The reason were 7 counts of hate speech, or as the German law calls it, Volksverhetzung. My crime was playing a few seconds of the politically incorrect parody song "What Does the Black Say" by American comedian Waka Waka Ali. That alone led to a prison sentence of 6 months. They also took a clip in which I made fun of leftists who smear right-wingers as Nazis out of context and charged me with the use of extremist symbols. To visualize what I was talking about, I had shown a historical picture of Goebbels, who was wearing a swastika on his arm. On the 15th of January 2025, the German intelligence agency called Verfassungsschutz visited the prison to talk to me. About 1 month earlier, it surprisingly looked like I could get out on probation this February. The administration of the prison I'm in had weighed in favor of me being released early. I rejected to talk to the German intelligence agency, which is notoriously known for blackmailing people into spying on the political opposition to the left-wing German government and deep state. After I refused to talk to them, 2 weeks went by and I received a letter from the Berlin police. I've never lived in Berlin. In this letter, I was asked to comment on a new case against me. Hate speech, of course. The offenses I'm in prison for right now took place between 2016 and early 2019. For 6 years, there had been no court case against me. And now, the Verfassungsschutz, the German intelligence agency, visits me in prison, I don't talk to them, and 6 days later, the German justice system has cooked up a new hate speech case. I had my court hearing. Not only didn't I get out on parole, the young judge told me that she wouldn't let me out on parole ever. She told me that she doesn't believe I really want to be de-radicalized, because I'm still a right-winger. Dear Mr. Vice President J.D. Vance, at almost exactly the same time, I saw your speech at the Munich Security Conference, and it gave me a sliver of hope. Hope that the authoritarian course that my country has taken isn't set in stone.
And by the way, this is why you play no small role. The mammoth size of the audience here and the influence that you have, that emboldens our representatives. It emboldens our politicians to speak on our behalf, and then people abroad also see hope. For reference, this is exactly what J.D. Vance was talking about, and this is the speech that he gave at the Munich Security Conference.
What I worry about is the threat from within, the retreat of Europe from some of its most fundamental values, values shared with the United States of America. And unfortunately, when I look at Europe today, it's sometimes not so clear what happened to some of the Cold War's winners. I look to Brussels, where EU commissars warn citizens that they intend to shut down social media during times of civil unrest the moment they spot what they've judged to be, quote, hateful content. Or to this very country, where police have carried out raids against citizens suspected of posting anti-feminist comments online as part of, quote, combating misogyny on the internet, a day of action.
And here's the takeaway. We cannot have alliances with countries, with nations that not only don't share our fundamental values, but their views are antithetical to our values. So sometimes you say, oh, it's childish, it's petty to post some jokes that might offend Muslims or might. Well, here's what happens. If you don't paint Muhammad, if you don't make jokes, if you don't make fun of everyone equally, you end up with people being jailed because they can be singled out. And by the way, this man, who's a radical right-wing extremist, you were just talking about, he changed his name because he was accused.
That's not his name. Shlomo is not his real name. He was accused by anti-Semites of being too pro-Israel.
Right.
So he adopted the name Shlomo Finkelstein.
Well, I always say it's an accomplishment for us where we get called Nazis and Israeli shills in the same day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or we get called Putin shills or stumping for Ukraine in the same day because we don't like any of them.
By the way, Shlomo Finkelstein sounds like my nickname in middle school, Slowpoke Firestein.
Does it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry that we had to reopen those wounds. I love how you're still bouncy. Now, do you feel like your core's tightening?
No, my core's pretty tight, bro.
Good for you.
My gut is resting on my legs.
You will be immortalized in the finest of candles. Now,
paint me blue.
This is about priorities, too, with Germany. And really, we've gone through this as far as NATO, and it seems that President Trump may be giving a speech later today. Some rumors are circulating that he may be talking about pulling from NATO. I think it's a negotiating tactic, but we don't know if that's the case or not. It is interesting. So we've talked about the priorities of Europe in providing social benefits, social welfare, free internet, free healthcare, free vacation, free lunches, right? Instead of protecting themselves. Well, these are about the cultural values. So we know they are not aligned with the United States as it relates to military values, as it relates to international treaties. They don't honor. So they're not good friends. But then when you look at your closest friends, your advisors, people you let in your inner circle, let me ask you this. Typically in your life, aren't they people whose values you share? Would you ask for relationship advice from someone who you know doesn't share your values, who you know doesn't share your perspective on relationships? Would you ask for relationship advice on a monogamous marriage, for example, from someone who's in an open marriage, who openly advocates for it? No, you wouldn't. So these are the core values that we're talking about beyond just the military. The priorities of Germany and most of Europe. Their priority is punishing speech, intimidating citizens, while tolerating evil and allowing radical Islamic fundamentalism to flourish. They say this person needs to de-radicalize. I think the people who actually run over your folks with cars need to be de-radicalized. And I think the hundreds of millions of people, Muslims, I believe it's 158 million, we can bring up that poll, who believe that violence is at least sometimes justified. I think that's a bigger problem than memes. So in Germany, some other examples that you have. This is just one that, of course, has captured the media attention. You have some examples where they convicted and fined AfD's Marie-Therese Kaiser for a Facebook post about migrant rape. Not a joke, a post about migrant rape. They shut down Compact magazine and they arrested the editor for, quote, inciting hatred. They arrested a 64-year-old man who called Deputy Chancellor an idiot on X. That's not even mean. That's a very, very polite insult, especially if he said it with a German accent. Well, you know what? I think you're just an idiot.
Hey.
Hey.
I'm calling the cops, man.
Look, we have to have boundaries.
I'm calling the polizei.
If I let you go and call an elected official an idiot, then everyone would want to.
I'm very smart. Don't say that.
They should make their insults more childish. So
yeah,
you called him a dum-dum.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, you poopy head.
Hey! Knock, knock. Who's there? Are you the man who referred to me as fart sniffer?
I believe I said schnitzel sucker.
That's right. I don't play ball like a girl. You're the girl. They conducted in Germany raids and interrogations of 45 people for, quote, misogynistic posts. Hey, could that include men are stronger than women? Could that include women shouldn't be in combat roles? Change my mind? Do you understand? This program and this platform, by the way, Rumble, could not exist in anywhere outside the United States. Do you understand that? And by the way, my heart goes out to the German people who don't want this. Unfortunately, you have been represented by awful, awful spineless cowards for far too long. And there needs to be more done about it. You need to change more minds there.
Well, luckily there are some people who are, bringing these stories like that. The lady who brought us the story was Naomi Sept.
Yes.
I don't know. Excuse me. I'm not saying it right. I'm sure.
Naomi Sept?
Sept?
Sept? I don't know.
Right.
She broke this story on X. Yeah. And she's done a lot of good work. So we do appreciate it. And please go check her out. So while they're doing this, while they're punishing speech, while they're raiding 45 of their own citizens' homes and places of work for misogynistic posts, there have been 20 terror attacks since 2015 alone. By the way, 3 in just the last month. 3 in just the last month. I'll say it again. 3 in the last month. January 22nd, an Afghan man stabbed another man and a toddler to death in Aschaffenburg. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. German fans, you can correct me. February 13th, an Afghan asylum seeker drove a car into a union demonstration in Munich. 2 were dead, 30 were injured. And then February 22nd, a Syrian refugee stabbed a tourist at a Holocaust memorial in Berlin.
And then there was the one that was just this weekend, wasn't there?
Yeah, we didn't listen because we don't have all the information, want to bet?
Yeah.
Want to make a guess? And this is how you end up when these same people, and this is the far left, the progressive left, they then blame you for division. You walk out your house and you can see people supporting an ideology that wholeheartedly supports terrorism, at the very least segregation, right? At the very least ghettoizing society, where you no longer feel like you are in Germany. You feel as though you've lost, best case scenario, you feel like you've lost your culture and you no longer have a neighbor who understands where you come from. Worst case scenario, your neighbor may be a terrorist sympathizer. There's at least 158 million across the globe who believe that violence is justified against infidels, at least sometimes. That's the best case scenario. While you see your fellow citizens, the people you went to school with, being arrested and shut down for misogynistic views, or, my God, calling an elected official an idiot. I don't think they share our values. I'm glad we paused the money on Ukraine. I think we need to pull from the UN, and I think we need to make this message heard loud and clear. I really like the work that Vance is doing, and you know what? I feel like I would be doing all of us a disservice, we both did, unless we really put a stamp on guaranteeing that we can never visit Germany.
I agree.
Which brings us to this week's 7+1. You forgot the fun in the chamber. 7+1 jokes that would get us banned from Germany. Josh, we spent some time on this yesterday.
Yes.
Number 7, you have to be my backboard here.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Number 7.
Tell us your joke.
Okay, are you ready? Because my friends tell me I'm quite humorous.
I'm ready, Frederick.
All right. Okay, thank you, Bob. I don't know German names. What's a good German name?
Good.
Sven?
Yeah.
I think that's Swedish, but they do it with 2 N's because they're bitches. All right. Number 7.
Olaf.
How many Germans does it take to screw in a light bulb?
I don't know.
9!
Oh.
1 to screw in the light bulb and 8 to exterminate an entire race of people.
Oh, that's a good one.
Joke that will get us banned in Germany, people. We had to do it. Number 6. Mr. Feinstein.
How do you tell the difference between a German member of parliament and a pile of festering human excrement?
Oh, I don't know. Can you...
The corn!
The corn! That means they're very similar. Number 5. Why is there no speed limit on the Autobahn?
I don't know.
Because if you're going to spend your whole day being a giant pussy, you want to get there quickly.
Hey, did you hear about those German kids who were diagnosed with ADHD?
That's sad.
They were sent to concentration camps.
No! That is distasteful!
They have to focus!
We do not allow that! That is an affliction!
Would you rather I give them Ritalin?
Did you say what?
What?
Get him!
Oh, no!
That was number 3! Gotcha, bitch! 7 + 1 jokes that will get us banned from Germany. I demand your full attention! Number 2.
2? 3. 2?
2.
Da.
Did you hear about the Angela Merkel's massage parlor?
Angela Merkel's massage parlor?
Yeah,
No.
it's called Guten Tag.
Oh! Disrespectful! She is an elected official! She does not give handjobs!
She gives a very good happy ending.
No!
No sad endings with her.
That is unacceptable in Germany. Number 1. How many proud German natives does it take to stop a radical Muslim motorist?
I don't know. Maybe it's like...
The police report says at least 4.
I didn't read that.
+1. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
The Gestapo. We're still around. We hear you have memes. 7 + 1. You forgot the one in the chamber. I didn't want to create a Photoshop of Schumacher and Einstein and Nietzsche having an orgy burning a Quran, but I hope you understand I felt compelled to.
Yeah, I think we're going to post somebody in German parliament with that.
I have no choice. You made me this way.
Sorry, I didn't do the worst part is I didn't do the accent any justice.
What are you talking about? Stop it.
But
Stop
hey,
being an erotic comedian.
That's okay.
Great.
He's on a ball.
Yeah, I'm having a ball is what I'm doing. Having a ball making fun of these people. How come you can get arrested for calling an elected official an idiot in Germany, but they can do basically anything they want about our elected officials. Elected officials across the world, they got this carnival going in Germany with this festival. They have all these floats. Oh, there it is.
Yep.
This is okay, but...
There you go. They have that.
It was too far!
They have the AFD there.
They have their own... Yeah. Oh, opposition is okay. Make fun of the opposition. That's fine.
Yeah. And they have Elon Musk with a swastika American flag. And this is the point, guys. The left in Germany, they will try and tell you that this is about tolerance. This is about empathy. It's about weaponizing speech. They don't believe for a second. This is not ignorance. You cannot chalk this up to ignorance. This is a sinister motive. They do not believe for a second that it's acceptable or for some more acceptable to refer to Elon Musk as a Nazi or Donald Trump. They don't. They know it's not. They want to put you in jail for referring to them as idiots. Do you understand? This whole cloak of empathy, that's what people say woke is. Woke means being compassionate toward other people. No, it does not. There's nothing compassionate about weaponizing speech. They tried to do it here in the United States, and it hasn't worked. But it has succeeded in all of Europe. And I think it's time to break ties until they start following our lead. The good news is we have the ability to do that. Hey, if you like this video, we're probably like-minded, and you may enjoy some more content. You could click that video, watch another one, or tune in weekdays at 10 a.m. Eastern. Because we're the same. You and me. We're kindred spirits.